This one here is entombed. Excuse me, that you got a tomb up there, I guess. This one here is entombed with a paperback, a simple little frame I bought with a paperback with a clear plastic strip tape on it. Same process. The only process about down here is that I use pen and ink, different color pen and inks. And it's the same process on the different types of numbers or systems. Basically, all of these are just one individual objects, like dragonfly. You don't see another one here, just one a piece. Down here is a counting system where you have different colors like oranges and browns and blacks identifying numbers. And the numbering system, either ABCs or a numbering system, helps mix up the whole, basically whole idea is to help mix up the whole generation of these type of animals or group of animals. This here is repetitious all the way around, and it's done by pen and ink on top of acrylic. Okay, all I use is acrylic. And the last one I have here is, I did this down at Eastern. This is one of my first ones I worked on my thesis. And a lot of people were working the pen and ink back at that time. I call it pen and ink, or they call it pictograph pen. I did a series of 20 of these. I went out to the countryside and I sit and drew old barns and shapes with a pictograph pen. Now the pictograph pen, some people say, well, it takes rot or it takes a graveyard site or what it may be to get the pure ink out of it. Whatever process they use, I used it because it was a pure type of ink at that time instead of using the quill or the dip type point. And I use a fine type of paper. Drew the idea out in pencil first lightly, then went over it in detail. Dots, dashes, straight lines, curves, and so forth. And this was done in the 70s, and basically has a modern day backing on it. An old frame that I got from Salvation Army somewhere. I'm not a person who deals with a lot of money in terms of buying frames and all that type of thing. What I do is that, say on this large one, I'll take 4 nails, 4 little small nails. I'll put 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. And because it's a self-implanted drawing, I don't spend $200 or $300 on a frame because I don't have it. So I just nail it up to the wall. And when I take it down, it leaves 4 little impressions of nail holes. And if I want to paint over those, it's okay too. But that's what I do. It took me about a year and 2 months to do one of these. I have maybe about one of these large ones. I have maybe about 15 or 20 of them at home. And that's what you call a mural. For me it is, because I take my time. Take my time and work when I want to, when it's warm. Have my coffee and tea and whatever, you know. Yes, anything else?
How did participating in the mural project affect you?
Well, it allowed me to raise my kids, as I said, part of the time, because I had to get out of the house with him. It allowed me to get out of the house myself, because I was working a job at National Protein. Now, I'm not going to go into details about that, but protein is a subsidiary that a lot of dust is involved. I had to get out and get fresh air. I just couldn't. Angela gave me the opportunity of getting outside and having an excuse of getting outside and get some fresh air under a structured environment. It was getting awful hot. I was getting awful dusty up in there. But you learned a lot. You learn what a hamburger is made. No, that's fine. That's fine. You learn what a hamburger is made of. So, you know, from basic roots. Whether you want to accept that or not. You know, sometimes that all beef hamburger you get add on a lot of weight. allowed me the opportunity of getting out and seeing people come by and talking to them and, explaining to them exactly, those who were concerned, exactly what we were doing before it caused conflict or frustration among the community. A lot of people who could have interpreted it as being a Chicago mural or a California mural, might have got the wrong impression.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was nice. Nice change.
How have you done or assisted in the creation of any other murals?
No. I went to art show though, here a couple of years ago. The director of the Accredited Art Museum went to California. We had one of the most extensive art shows there were. We took the county here in the county, and they invited all the artists in the county to participate. And they had a showing at the Accredited Art Museum. And you could see the different colors emanating from the interior of the city to the outside exterior of the county. And they went from bright colors to a more subtle, calm tones as the reflection, water petal reflection drifted out. It was very interesting. And since then, I haven't heard anything else exciting going on here in Champaign-Urbana. To a point, it's weird, it's kind of weird. I'd take a year and 2 months maybe to create something like this. And as much technology we have and knowledge we have here in Champaign-Urbana, they want to put superstition on it or whatever it may be. And what hurts me is that we have the facilities, we have the knowledge, we have the money, we have all the backing in the world, and yet they want to hold an art show in the park and hope it doesn't rain that weekend. 2-day event. Then they'll allow you to park your cars in front of you and behind your venue. So you can, if it does, if you look at the forecast, which we have the modern facility to do so, three TV channels, and you see a storm coming up, and you're not wise enough to pack all your stuff away and say an hour, because they won't allow you to do it, and you stuck out there in this 60-mile-an-hour windstorm, hey, and then you get nothing, not a thank you or a welcome or a section in the newspaper saying, well, thank y'all for coming out. We'll see how stupid you are next year. Just like that mural. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So
So you say, well, like, do I have the time or patience to do this every year? To come out to art show? Sponsored Champaign-Urbana, sponsored in the state, USA. We're not talking about foreign stuff. We're talking about USA. All the buildings and mechanisms we have to come out to have. Now, it's all right if you want to barbecue out there in the rain on your barbecue, that's fine. Or your taco shell, or whatever it may be, I don't care. Because I ain't got to eat it for that one day. But if you, well, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All the money we might have to show at the Accredited Art Museum, it might be 125 artists or more here in Champaign-Urbana. Nice facility, air conditioned. You can go in there all week and see everything it is and review it or whatever. Hey, I ain't got time for it. I'm 61 years old. And look how fast it took us to go from then, back when we did that mural, to now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time. So I keep my stuff at home.
Mm-hmm.
Those who I want to invite over to see it, or those who want to come and see it, are free to see it when they want to.